Where's the girl?
Where's Siri?
Oh. Oh.
Okay.
He's looking for Siri. I need to find Siri. Where is Cirilla? Have you seen Cirilla?
Siri! Siri!
Where are you, Siri?
Siri, Siri, are you here? We're looking for Siri.
Is he gay? I didn't get that far. A lot of screaming, huh? Coming up. Wow. I can't wait to watch this show.
Siri disappeared.
Siri.
Anything to get Siri back, right?
Actually, I'm a lesbian.
Geralt, have you had any more wild dreams about anything to get Siri back, right?
Actually, I'm a lesbian.
Geralt, have you
No, I don't think that was
wild
it.
dreams about Siri? Has he told you about Siri, Regis?
Well, there's still no sign of Siri.
I've got to say that the one thing
Has he
that
told you about Siri, Regis?
I do think that Lawrence Fishburne, I think he looks good as Regis. I think he does. Even though it's a race swap, it's a race swap with a well-known established actor. I would never complain about this. This is fine. He was good,
The
yeah.
right heroes could make all the difference.
What if I can't save her?
Don't
still
have
no
to be a
sign of Siri.
witch
We
to find the
know
magic
Siri is
in this
connected.
world.
I'm a lesbian.
But it does help.
He's too good for the show.
Siri is what we all need. Everyone wants Siri. I do want to save Siri.
Lesbian.
Find Siri.
God damn.
Well, Siri. Siri will be safe.
I need to protect Siri.
Find Siri.
Wait, where's Siri? Siri is still at risk.
I love how everybody, it's like the show, like The Witcher 3 was made around Ciri, but it wasn't really, like she wasn't the main character.
Chaos.
Like she was
surrounds
like the
us.
main plot
I
device,
will
but she wasn't the
gladly
main
show
character.
who is in
Geralt was the
control.
main character.
.com.
I don't know if people don't
We'll be coming in
understand.
30 seconds.
Lovers
Stay
of
strong.
all things good and dislikers of all things bad, and the 40% who haven't subscribed yet. It goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway, that Netflix's The Witcher will go down in the annals of pop culture history as just another epic fantasy adaptation completely destroyed by ego, hubris, modernity, the message.
When was the last time that a fantasy show came out and it was good?
The battle starts in 5, 4,
When was the
3,
last time?
2, 1. You're not going anywhere.
Like a, no, not Fallout,
You need
like
to stop that
Arcane,
vehicle in its tracks.
Game of Thrones. So the beginning of Game of Thrones. So like over 15 years ago. Okay.
Something here worth looking at.
Yeah, be careful here. Not so good, huh? Oh yeah. You know what? People do like House of the Dragon. I think that's true. People do like that.
Better stop that vehicle.
and a clear disdain for the source material. And that was before season 4 premiered. But to be honest, the only thing keeping this in the zeitgeist of pop culture is people continuing to marvel that this show is still being made. And what a journey it has been to get here. When The Witcher premiered way back in 2009, it was well received by the audience. And there were more than a few outlets. And
I don't know why Netflix would have even continued with it, because like it's only going to damage their brand and make them look bad. Like, you probably should be paying money to not have it shown.
saying that The Witcher could be the heir apparent to Game of Thrones. Unfortunately, it was all downhill from there. Now, prior to season 8, in the kindest way possible, tried to warn us that showrunner Lauren Schmidt-Isrich was going to stray from the
Characters in the show, certainly the first few.
I am much better now.
With the shit show on the vision.
The moon
haunts you.
He's so political about it,
Forget how tough Spidey is.
but it's so obvious what's going on. It's so obvious what he's trying to say.
Who's next? Double KO! I hope you can forgive me someday, Father.
Within that vision, and making sure that I do everything I can to be as faithful to the source material as possible that I can be within the structure set out for me.
And what did you...
You stopped them in their tracks!
What a reasonable thing to say, too.
my dear.
Like, yeah, it's not the way I want it to be, but I'm going to try to do my best to fit in and do the best job I can do. You know, like, that's, yeah, exactly.
Just working.
You know what? Ratings and the audience scores went down. And then everybody started calling out everybody.
I love how, like, everybody thought that the show about a Giga Chad with a sword is gonna be like, oh wow, why aren't girls watching this? And so what does he do? He saves women and he kills monsters? Oh. And people stopped watching and he made it about the girl instead? Oh.
97 and Witcher writer Bo DeMeo calling out Hisrich and her team for openly mocking the source material
against the
in
world.
Room. Hisrich calling out Henry Cavill, Kowski, the creator and writer of The Witcher, calling out Lauren Hisrich, mentions how
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
where Hisrich and her team took time off.
So apparently, recently he also commented about The Witcher 4. I just want to pause and show this because I don't know if I can find it quickly, but if I can, I'll show you. So he did comment about The Witcher 4, and he said that basically they don't really ask him for advice anymore, and he thinks it's better that way. He's happy that they don't ask him for advice. It looks like I can't really find it. I don't really know where it was. But yeah, that's it. So they used to ask him a lot, not so much anymore. And The Witcher 4, he's got bro. He's finished it. That was out of context, by the way, was it?
Bastardizing the lore of the book so they could pervert the lore of the game. And this can be unfold, putting the leader of the wild hunt, the formidable Eridan, into a sad gay man. After that, season 3 came
He's
out.
sad and gay? Eridan's gay? What?
I tried to keep him out of trouble.
Why is he gotta be gay? Like, I mean, something could have been gay and remember it. You didn't need to know. Why do you even need to know?
And there was another dramatic loss in viewership. At this point, the show was essentially dead. But Hollywood, being no stranger to reanimating the corpse of a franchise only to defile it, carried on. It announced poor Liam Hemsworth would be the replacement for Henry Cavill, and I hope he got a lot of money. Then things went quiet for a good long while until
he was never, even if he did a great job, it was everybody.
The moon haunts you!
Disappear!
Going to compare him to Henry Cavill, and they're always going to say it's worse. It's like, yeah, it's doomed to fail. Like, he set himself up to fail. Like, one episode,
They hit checkpoint.
wow.
Now might be a good time to stop that.
Big agent mistake?
season 4, Netflix decided to drop a
Huge
quick
agent
edit
mistake.
trailer.
Coach, you cannot save you this time.
On every social media platform was essentially ratioed into a movie. And then they made the worst mistake possible, actually releasing the show. Let's just
I don't know why they released it. They should have just canceled it.
the response from Tomatoes has got a 60% rating from critics, largely padded by
You
Born
don't
from
even
the chaos.
any sort of critic review
Don't mess
isn't
with the
real.
amazing
Because
Spider-Man!
critics are biased, and there is a social expectation that you're going to rate movies and shows in certain ways based off of criteria that doesn't necessarily matter to the average audience member. And I think that's the big difference. IGN likes the show. That's fine. But what I'm saying is that a lot of people obviously don't like this type of content. But the problem is that inside of the professional space, there is a tremendous professional pressure for people to continue giving good reviews and not taking any of the criticism from, the toxic internet seriously and applying it to the shows themselves. There is a huge amount of burying your head in the sand. We're going to just give it the review without even thinking about it. It's a real problem. It is. Like, never trust any sort of
The moon haunts you!
because they are all peer pressured to give certain opinions and to measure their opinions against the political climate of their industry. If you want to listen to an actual real person's opinion, go and look at the actual user reviews or go watch a YouTube video. Because at least those people are honest in what they believe.
you've never heard of, but if you go over to the top rating, it's at 33%, and Metacritic has it at about a 60%.
Give them another
Well, Metacritic gave it to 1.9. I think we should just get rid of critic reviews. They're worthless.
You get a weapon! You
Like, why is somebody qualified to watch a TV show and understand it better than you do?
That
Really?
did the trick.
Like, what are we talking about? It shouldn't even be considered.
Then there's the audience scores, which is
So it's the
20%
what matters.
on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's right.
1.8 on Metacritic. And IMDb is averaging about a 4 out of 10.
Also, by the way, I want to reiterate something that I've said multiple times, is that what are the purpose of reviews? Fundamentally, what are the purpose of reviews? What purpose do they serve inside of the economy? To inform the audience. To inform the audience and make an educated decision. When you have this many reviews that are not varying tremendously with what the audience perception for something is, I think you've really got to ask yourself the question, are these even really reviews? These aren't even fulfilling their purpose of being a review. If you are giving a review and your reviews for different topics like this are consistently massively different than what the public thinks, then fundamentally you're not doing your job as a reviewer, because people are looking to you to read your review and get an idea of whether the show is good or not. So if you're constantly getting it wrong, and you're giving shows that everybody thinks is a 3 or a 2, a 7 or an 8, you've got a problem as a reviewer. Because the reviewers, the customers are the ones that matter, not the reviewers. I don't see how more people don't realize this.
And yes, The Witcher is getting its worst reviews ever outside of Blood Origin. Liam Hemsworth
That
is
was
so
really bad.
cautiously not awful, all while being not good either, as Geralt of Rivia, that he's basically invisible in The Witcher Season 4. Someone forgot to CG The Witcher into his scenes in post. Liam Hemsworth
Yeah, they're not going to have him in it. Yeah.
isn't the problem with The Witcher's 4th season. The Netflix fantasy epic continues its
I
depth.
think that's probably true. I bet Liam Hemsworth did a fine job, and the issue really is with the script. I mean, like, people said season 2 and 3 sucked, and Henry Cavill was in those. It very clearly wasn't the person playing Geralt that was the problem. It was the way it was directed and the focus of the story. That was the problem. It never had
You'll
anything
need
to
a
do with
top-notch
the
team to
the
win this
actor.
one.
Downward spiral. With a bloated and mostly boring new chapter,
have
The
to be
Witcher
a
Season
witch
4
to
review.
find the
Liam
magic
Hemsworth
in
is
this
as
world.
charismatic as
But
a
it does
ballard
help.
in a wig. The Witcher Season 4 review. Look how Netflix massacred my boy. The first season of the fantasy series without Henry Cavill.
I will bring
Dragged down by
peace to
the
this
Hemsworth
universe,
in the room.
no
Now I
matter
have
the
to-
cost.
I think that's just so unfair to the guy. It is. This show was going down the shitter for years. People were hating this show for years. Are we really going to blame everything and scapegoat this guy? Well, think about it. If the show was so great, why did the first guy
In a
leave?
world consumed by
It's so
darkness,
unfair.
I will gladly be
I
the
agree with
light.
some of the corporate critics that Liam Hemsworth is not the primary problem with The Witcher Season
30
4.
seconds
No,
before
the
you attack.
responsibility
Get
of that
ready.
lays at the feet of one woman. The aforementioned Lauren Schmidt-Hissrich, who has finally
guys are
gotten
the
everything she
coolest.
wanted.
I
Complete
always
control
thought so.
of an epic
Now
fantasy
let's kick
series
some
on
butt, shall we?
Netflix without the
pretty cool
shackles of
yourself.
Henry
I will
Cavill.
bring
And how
peace
did
to
it
this
turn
universe,
out? Well,
no matter
about
the
as
cost.
bad as you would expect. It's time to talk about The Witch Her Season 4.
Jesus. Should have known. It's ultimately his fault.
And they waste no
Four.
time.
I think
Three,
that again. I think
two,
he shouldn't
one.
have taken the role. It would have.
All you
It's going to
need
make
to
him
do is
look
capture the
bad,
mission
right?
area.
Definitely.
Got it?
But maybe he needed the money. I mean, who knows?
And getting to the cringe because they start with a double recap, including over 2 minutes previously on where they do not show Henry
Okay.
Cavill's face. And the Witcher doesn't
Keep an
have
eye
a
on
line of dialogue, to be fair. It kind of fits because he's barely in his own show. And then they follow that up with just over 8 minutes of reshot scenes from previous seasons with Liam Hemsworth, including the beach off with Vilgax. And it plays out like, think Austin Powers with Tom Cruise, except not played for laughs, yet just for funny. I'm guessing most
You owe me
viewers
one.
needed this because most people dipped out at season 2, and I'm also guessing that after this 8
Yeah,
minutes,
probably true.
most people dipped out. And just in case you didn't think that was the show displaying how
So they
self-feel better
recast
already.
him doing the exact same scenes that Henry Cavill did in order to make it seem like it was normal that he was the Witcher.
Quantum magic. I seem to be
Something like that. That's crazy.
There they were. They go full meta. I am
I'm still regenerating.
Old man who was the guy who played Blackfish from Game of Thrones, who will tell you a story about the Witcher, but then a young girl comes in and tells tells him he's doing it wrong and tells the story better. And then convinces herself with this picture of a quantum magic.
Of course.
Girl with no face.
Yeah.
That she is a central part of the story.
Right.
Quantum magic. This is a great example of how Laura in the book, why would you? Nemo is inspired by the story she listens to in the show. She takes over telling the story and tells it better than the man. She may do more better than that, except for
Oh my God, bro! Like this is just
Ready to put on a show!
it's like the worst. It's the worst possible way of doing it, right? It is.
Anywho, he's a consistent partner from previous seasons. The plot goes something like this. Evil Maid Wilberforce is looking for Ciri. Yennefer is looking for Ciri. Oblivious is looking for Ciri. Guardian Emperor Amir, after finding out he has a fake Ciri, is looking for Ciri. And a new character, Leo Barnhart, is looking for Ciri. And now that I think about it, Ciri is looking for Ciri with her pals, the Rats, who are, without question, the most insufferable. Let the devil out! Screen in a fantasy adaptation.
This is like basically what they just take the writers and just have they're like, all right, go ahead and put on these costumes. You're gonna be in the show now. We can't afford actors anymore.
In the history of time. Oh, and we will get to that.
By the eye of Agamotto!
Not the best books in Andre Kowalski's series. Baptism of Fire and Power Stone. Baptism of Fire is particularly bad. Lauren Kistrich has made it work. While the book mainly focuses on the titular character, The Witcher, the show focuses on Yennefer, Ciri, and Geralt. So let's start with the least significant of the three, Geralt of Rivia. Who's on? The journey to find, you guessed it, Ciri. Wow. Time is running out. So
I mean, this sounds like such a stupid plot because the beginning of the story, like, I thought he found it. I mean, at a certain point, it gets a little bit ridiculous, doesn't it?
She finds time to get distracted and run
Holy
better
shit.
already, including saving a woman from therapists who were seen
That's therapist.
Born again! It's amazing that this world based on Polish and European folklore that is so diverse isn't when it comes to the therapist. Anyway, on this long, arduous journey where, spoilers, they don't get anywhere near finding Ciri, Geralt and Jaskier get caught by Redanian intelligence. Also, the
I am ready to put on a show!
boyfriend, King Radovid, who was a character in the book.
They made Radovid gay?
That Lauren Kistrich aged up from 13 so Jaskier can be gay. And then they broke up. And the rest of the ragtag group Geralt
why?
is with are
Everybody's gay.
Gotta give credit for credit is due. Props to Netflix for hiring dwarves to play dwarves. But here he's got his redemption arc after kidnapping Ciri. He finally realizes she is the girl who's seeking everything. Geralt originally wants to kill him and let him go, and then doesn't like him, but then eventually likes him. Milva, who was supposed to look like this in the source material, and yes, the resemblance is uncanny.
Yeah.
And there's Lawrence Fishburne as Regis the vampire, and again, the likeness to the character in the game is uncanny. And while Lawrence...
As I said, I forgive any race swaps as long as it's being done with a S-tier actor. I don't give a shit. I don't think anybody else does either. But whenever you do a race swap with just some random no-name person for no other reason than to check a box, that's what's annoying. I do? That's fine. I don't care. I don't think it's a big deal.
Fishburne is good in everything he does. Let's just say his character of Regis leans into the age-old trope of the... I'm not going to say it.
The American Society of Magical Negroes.
Oh, jeez.
If you do your job well,
Oh, jeez.
you will run out of monsters to kill, will you not? Your entire being is dedicated to finding someone who you fear you failed. Whatever you dream, pay attention. Not to the fear, the joy. It will eat you. You spent a lifetime battling monsters and men. Fear has become a familiar guidepost to you. I sense in you a deeper desire for balance.
We saving the damn world.
Damn.
And again, while this entire journey is in the books, in this show, it only serves as a side quest that goes nowhere. And instead of doing what a talented writer would do, you know, weaving your character's background in and out of the story as it progresses through some show and some tell, they stop abruptly in episode 5 of season 4 to give us a character info dump by campfire. And everybody gets to tell their story, including Yasker's turning into a musical and Regis's ending up being an anime, which arguably is the best part of the—
Wait, what? They turned it into an what the fuck?
The show, but it doesn't make it any
What the
less
hell?
jarring. But
What are they
when
doing?
we're following Geralt when it's not being cringe, it's
Is this real? Did this happen?
excruciatingly boring. And when we're not getting info dumps, we're getting people sharing their feelings in forests. Geralt and his crew spend an entire episode thinking about crossing a river, then they spend another episode crossing the river, but the worst bit is Geralt sits out an entire episode of his own series. He only fights 3 creatures, and you guessed it, 2 of them are tragically misunderstood women. In the end, he does fight a troll to hold a bridge, but it's also he could be knighted by, admittedly, a girl boss from the books that was perfectly adapted as a girl boss in the show, so he could become Geralt of Rivia. And if it wasn't clear before, it most definitely is now. Lauren Hissrich's least favorite character in her Witcher series is The Witcher. Everyone's gonna say poor Liam Hemsworth, and he doesn't seem like a bad guy, but let's keep in mind that he put himself in this impossible—
He did. He put himself in the role. His agent should have never got him the role. Maybe he needed the money, but it's definitely going to make him look bad. It's going to make him look like the plan B. I think it will not be good for his career. It will not. You picked the role. Yeah, but it was his call. It was his call. He did it.
Situation that he was never going to live up to. That being said, he wasn't awful. He was blandly competent. Having no knowledge of the books, he plays it as safe as possible, which actually makes things worse because he has 0 presence and 0 charisma. He is the Temu Witcher, and it comes off as a parody.
Exactly. All right.
Thank you very much. That was quite a formal entrance. I thought we were just going to sit down and talk a little bit.
Okay.
We talk about exactly
I could not, bro. I could not
deal
deal with that.
Big, beautiful victory. Exactly 1 year. And last night it was, not expected to be a victory. It was very Democrat areas, but I don't think it was good for Republicans. I don't think it was good. I'm not sure.
You got fucked. You got fucked. Y'all guys got fucked. You didn't bring home the bacon, and people are mad. That's what happened. Yep.
For anybody. But we had an interesting
The right
meeting. We
heroes
learned
could
a
make
lot,
all the difference.
and we're going to talk about that, and I'll say a few remarks, and then after that I'll ask the press to leave. The press has been very, very nice to us the last couple of months. They were great to us.
I will bring
in terms
peace
of
to
the
this
foreign
universe,
visits with
no
China,
matter the cost.
Japan, South Korea, Malaysia, and they were actually terrific. So I want to thank you for that. I'm sure you'll get back to your normal ways soon. But we did a great job over in China. And we've done a great job in turning off wars. We stopped 8 wars. And we have 1 to go.
Is he counting the console war between Xbox and PlayStation?
Perfection is unattainable, but that should not stop us from trying to achieve it.
Is that part of it or not?
To do it, and I did it with many of the people in this room.
They'll be coming in 30
Every one of
seconds.
you I know, and
Stay
every one
strong.
of you I like our leaders, I like everybody. But I thought we'd have a discussion after the press leaves about what last night represented. And what we should do about it, and also about the shutdown, and how that relates to last night. I think if you read the pollsters, the shutdown was a big factor, negative for the
Battle starts in
Republicans.
5.
And that was a big factor,
3,
and they say that
2,
I wasn't on the ballot was the biggest factor. But I don't know about that, but I was counted that.
That's a huge problem, though. It is. That's a massive problem. If Trump is the only way that the GOP and the Republicans can win any election, then you're basically on a timer. That's a massive
A little help, please.
They said that. And I just want to thank everybody for being here. A very special thanks to Vice President J.D. Vance, who's doing a terrific job. J.D. Vance. as well. I will tell you, nobody's working any harder representing the American people, including Senator John Thune. John, thank you. Great job.
Good on all the shout-outs at the beginning.
Healing power. Senator John Barraza, thank you very much. Senator Tom, thank you, Tom. Thank you. So Senator Shelley Moore Capito has been very involved. Thank you, Shelley.
I feel better already.
Senator James Langford from one of my favorite states. 77 out of 77. Right? 76. Thank you, John. And incredible advocate during the election a year ago, Tim Scott. Thank you, Tim.
I have risen.
So as you know, we are in the midst of a disastrous Democrat-created government shutdown, and it is Democrat-created, but I don't think they're getting really the blame that they should. It's now the moon beholds the god of thunder!
Your powers are mine! I am ready to put on a show!
The Republicans have to shut down. Like, I mean, how do you control the executive branch, the Congress, and the House of Representatives, and also the Senate? And it's because of the Democrats. I do. I think it's very hard to push that, especially whenever people lose their food stamps. This is what I think lost Trump 2020, is that when you fuck with people's day-to-day lives, they're going to vote against you. Just period. I think that's how it's going to be. And I think that whenever COVID fucked with people's lives, people voted against Trump. If it wasn't for COVID, I think Trump would have won again.
We are in this together.
And I don't think they'll act so soon. A lot of people disagree.
A minor version of that.
We had 4 or 5 different points. Yes, sir, they're going to get it right now. We should have it done in a day. I've heard that about 4 times. Born again! I said I was a king. And I heard it after Kings. I heard it after a couple of other moments in time.
We've been discovered.
And I said, no, I don't believe so. Now I heard it's after the election. I don't believe so. I think the kamikaze pilots. I just got back from Japan. I talked about the kamikaze pilots. I think these guys are kamikazes. They'll take down the country if they have to. So I don't think so. Millions of Americans are going to be without SNAP benefits. And I will say about SNAP benefits. So when I was president, they had $7 billion worth, and now they have many times that, because these benefits were given to anybody that asked, and they're up to just many times, 47 billion. So it wasn't the purpose.
The problem is that after COVID, here's the issue: is that the COVID recession happened, and a bunch of people went on food stamps during COVID, and then when the economy improved on paper, it didn't improve in practice. So a lot of those people never really got off their food stamps. That's what happened. I think. Here they are now.
Down in Africa, people that really had problems. But during Biden, they gave it to anybody that wanted it. I think there's something we have to talk about, because the numbers are incredible.
I am ready to put on a show!
Not being paid in the air traffic control system. The moon wants you!
Down to 30 seconds.
The hottest economy we've ever had. And it's affecting.
Yeah, it's got to affect normal people, though, right? It's like Trump saying that like the economy is really good. People don't feel that on a personal level. It's like, who cares if Nvidia is worth $5 trillion, or how big the stock market is, or something like that. When you're a paycheck-to-paycheck person, which a lot of people are,
I am born anew.
That type of stuff is like so abstract that it doesn't really matter to you. You're not making decisions based off of that.
Until we have a winner.
Stock market now a little bit. The stock market as of Friday has hit many record highs during the last 9 months. And well, again, this is just the beginning. Because when these plans are being built right now, we've never had anything like this. Your powers are mine! Fantastic! Beholds the god of thunder! When I was in Mr. Toyota. I said, what's your name? Toyota. I said, oh, you're rich.
I have located one of our opponents.
I said, how much of the company do you own? 93.1%. I said, you're a rich guy. And
yeah,
he said,
Mr. Toyota.
$10 billion in the U.S. And we were talking about
destiny awaits.
You introduced me originally when you were the ambassador to Japan. He's still good. He's still strong. But he had no interest in investing in this country. Now he's investing $10 billion 1 week ago.
That's great.
Building new plants. We have auto plants coming in incredibly. But we have AI and all of that. We can't be in this together. $1.1 billion to people that don't live here illegally, many from prisons, many drug dealers. A lot of people came in from mental institutions. They want to give a lot of money to the people that came in illegally. We have to get them out. No country can sustain that. That's not like an attack on our country. In no country, these are not going to be productive people. These are going to be anti-productive people.
Yep.
And we can do all the big parts. I could do the heart to anybody, but we can't let that happen. Other things to do what they have to do and exterminate the filibuster. If you don't terminate the filibuster, you'll be in bad shape. We won't pass any legislation. There'll be no legislation passed for 340 years. So it's a long time.
There's still so much to do.
But when they can't do an extension, and John, I think they've done an extension every single time they've ever been asked forever. This is the first time they haven't done an extension. Extensions are supposed to be easy, but if they won't do an extension, they won't do any bill, even a simple bill. And we should do our own bills. We should get out. We should do our own bills. We should open up. We should start tonight with the country's open elections. Then we should pass voter ID. We should pass mail-in voting.
Like, how's this, so actually I don't agree with mail-in voting. I think that we should be able to do mail-in voting. But I do agree with voter ID. Like, the idea that you don't have to submit an ID and show that you're to vote. Like, I don't understand the argument against it, if you want me to be honest. I really just mail-in vote. Yeah, I don't. It's too easy to rig. Maybe it is. I mean, personally, but like I think voter ID for me is like something that I'm like completely convinced on. Mail-in voting, I'm not totally convinced on. Mail-in voting for military, I think. Well, I mean, I would say like mail-in voting for people that are, maybe disabled or other people that might not have the ability to vote for whatever reason to get to a polling station. I think that's fine. Like that's the way it should be, right? But should everybody have mail-in voting? I mean, I don't know, maybe not. But I think the idea of it makes sense.
Thanks.
Honestly, like my opinion is that I think if mail-in voting favored Republicans, all of the Republicans would not say it was rigged. That's the truth. I think they're just saying it's rigged because mail-in voting generally favors Democrats.
I have risen.
It's just what my opinion is. Sorry.
Say because California is a disaster. Many of the states are disasters. But can you imagine when they vote almost unanimously against voter ID? All we want is voter ID. You go to a grocery store, you have to give ID. But for voting, they want no voter ID. It's anything. It's ridiculous. Because they're cheap. We passed that in...
I am a believer that people that know voter ID laws. I think that the best case scenario for voter ID laws is it prevents fraud and cheating. But it also stops morons that can't get an ID. Like, if you're too stupid to get an ID, I do not want to hear your opinion and you should be president. I do not want you making decisions on the government. You can't even get an ID. That's what I
They never talk about mail-in ballots. Mail-in ballots make it automatically corrupt. If you have mail-in ballots, automatically it's corrupt. Even Jimmy Carter, they had the Carter Commission after he got out of office, and he had a group of very distinguished people, Democrats and Republicans, and they passed, they recommended things that seems a long time ago.
Yeah.
And they said about mail-in ballots, if there's mail-in ballots, there will definitely be corruption because they passed too many hands. I mean, you go in to vote, and they want your card. Even me, I went into Palm Beach. You go in to vote, they want your card.
You have one
this or
task,
that.
my
I said, I'm sorry to
fist.
do this, sir, but I have to
Locate
look
the
at
Queen
your
of the Dead
identification. I
and
said, that's
end
all right. I love that.
But the path
But
will
you know,
be
you're really
fraught
not going to get
with
away with
peril.
much. It was very, very professional, very good, the way it's supposed to be. But these
same with mail-in, physical disability exception. If you can't get to the polling station, you can't vote. Again, people are really stuck on the mail-in voting thing. I think that there's a lot of ways that you can authenticate an ID online or ahead of time without going somewhere in person. Like have you ever looked at your driver's license? You know how there's like a bunch of numbers on it? What do you think those numbers mean? Just think about it. No mail-in for the masses? Maybe you could say, I don't know. I mean, the only thing that I would say for sure is that I think mail-in voting for elderly and for people that are disabled is mandatory. You need to have that. Not having that is just being a piece of shit. You're just being a piece of shit, and you're preventing people from voting on a basis that I think is totally unfair. For everybody, I don't know. But certainly for them. And honestly, I do think we should have mail-in voting.
people don't want that. They have legislation in California where it's illegal to ask somebody for voter ID.
That's
if you
ridiculous.
ask somebody for voter ID, if you're an official, and you say, I'd like to see your voter ID, they can arrest you. Okay? They can arrest you. Because they want to cheat. And they get away with it. And the Republicans let them get away with it. And we won't do that if we have the filibuster. So we're going to talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
And we're going to see if we can sway, because I know we have a lot of, not a lot, I'd say half feel this way, maybe a little bit less than half. And it's time to have a really good talk. If I thought
Do not
that they were
succumb
going
to the
pass
chaos.
filibuster, I wouldn't even bring it up. They're going to pass it within the first hour. If they take power, and it's more likely if they take power, if we don't take power, we're not going to keep passing any legislation. Not going to do anything. We're going to go 3 to 40 years to what about that. We either do it or they're going to do it. So what we want to build, because the easiest thing to pass is exactly right now what they want to pass. And they'll do that, and but let's assume they're doing it. So
a champion has fallen.
And I have a
you've got to push it, of course. Voting is an obligation more than a right. I think it should be mandatory to vote. What do you think?
Man, but not today.
I think the opposite. I think most people should vote. Like, if it was up to me, what I would do is I would put as many barriers to voting that I possibly could.
This struggle may be
I
as
think
eternal
being able
as
to vote
I.
for the president is not something that everybody should just be able to do, just by the nature of you being 18 years old. I think this is,
regret choosing
and
you
in
for
my
this
opinion, if you're going to vote, you have to pass some sort of regular citizenship test or some other variation of that in order for you to prove that you actually know what the fuck you're doing in order to be able to vote. I think that having just the masses of uneducated retards voting causes a lot of problems, and I think it leads to so many other issues, right? It leads to like weird campaign promises, things that people don't really care about a lot, weird like things aren't even true, just bullshit. Leads to Jay Jones. Yeah, logical thinking test. Yeah, I would be fine for the logic test. Yeah, and if you can't finish the logic test, you can't vote. Absolutely. Like as many barriers to voting as possible is what I would support. Absolutely. I think the fact that everybody can vote has been catastrophic for the country. Absolutely catastrophic. Huge problem.
I have great U.S. attorneys.
That's right.
I think you should terminate this. It's a mental termination because it's really a custom. But if you
not going to happen. Hey, that's my opinion.
Two is bad, but it doesn't make any difference. If you have one Supreme Court, so you get a letter and some great U.S. attorney, we had it in Iraq, Southern District. Great person, one of the most respected lawyers in the whole country, by far, one of the most respected. And couldn't get approved. The courts couldn't believe it. They did it like instantly. He went to the best schools, got the best marks, top of his class, everything was perfect. And he was like went to Sullivan Cromwell. Almost immediately became the head of Sullivan Cromwell. One of the most did it for me. He was the SEC chairman. He was